Joining us now, we have the host of the podcast On Brand with Donny Deutsch. Donny Deutsch, he's here with positive vibes.
Yes, I want to say, before I'm sitting this, put a chyron on the bottom, 4 brilliant women and a dumb guy. And a dumb guy.
Okay.
That's the table.
Member of the New York Times editorial board, Mara Gay is with us. Special correspondent at Vanity Fair and host of the Fast Politics podcast, Molly Jong-Bast, and co-founder and CEO of All In Together and host of Majority Rules on Two-Way, Lauren Leder. I have some questions for you about that, what we talked about in the hall. Also with us, senior national political correspondent for the Washington Post, Ashley Parker is with us. Her latest piece is entitled, Is the Trump Campaign's Male-Dominated Culture Losing Women Votes?
Look, I mean, the gender gap has been growing for years, right? This is not new to this election cycle. Like, we've seen this for the last decade, that Democrats have skewed more, Democrats and independents have skewed more female, and Republicans have skewed more male. Trump accelerated that, right? And, you know, put that trend on steroids. And then the questions that we were asking over the last few years was he going to try to expand the tent, try to expand his base and his outreach to women? I mean, the answer was clearly no. J.D. Vance was a very clear statement. You know, they've been very comfortable with the ways in which they've alienated, for instance, suburban women who were so the key to their very consistent losses, by the way, since 2016, right? Because as Mara said, women are more likely to turn out to vote. That's why Joe Biden won Pennsylvania. Even though there was a Republican advantage, women turned out in greater numbers. They flipped Pennsylvania for Joe. That's absolutely what has to happen this time. Still, I do worry, and I sort of agree with Molly, although I don't know, maybe Harris should go on Joe Rogan. I do worry because I think, first of all, on the white women, Trump has lost no ground since 2016 with white women. We're still seeing 50% of white women supporting him, which I know drives a lot of Democratic women nuts because it's so hard to wrap our heads around. But on the, you know, with black men in Michigan, like, she has to win them. The margins are so thin that if she can't win over, and that's why I was so happy to hear Barack Obama say that last night. I mean, we've all been seeing this under the surface. They have to go after those voters. The question is, can you convince people if the base is sexist?
And if you're frightened by the option of Donald Trump, don't just talk about all the things you think the Harris camp is doing wrong. Get to work. I know women will. Lauren Leder, you're one of those women. What can women do?
Well, obviously, mobilizing to get out the vote, and not just for yourselves, but make a voting plan. Call your friends, make sure they have a voting plan.
What about young people? Like, reach out to them, make sure they get there.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I just was with the CEO of Supermajority, and they've been knocking doors for the sort of like 18 to 25-year-olds. And every time they go to a door and they meet a young person, the young woman's going, "Do you want to talk to my mom?" And their answer is, "No, we want to talk to you because you matter so much." And I think, you know, that the voting plan, the structure, we are getting close enough. You need to know if you have early voting in your community. Make a plan, schedule it, find out if your company gives you time off to vote. If they don't, plan it for an early vote day on a Saturday. All of those little details, they're going to make a huge difference in the turnout.
Is jumping awkwardly on stage in Pennsylvania with Donald Trump, does that cause your stock to go down in your car company, Tesla?
Oh, we're talking about Elon Musk now. I don't know if that's what's you know, the stock did go down. Not on, I would argue, not on the back of that. They announced robo-taxis last evening, which there had been a lot of anticipation about Tesla announcing these robo-taxis. How quickly would they get out there? Robo-taxis being autonomous vehicles where literally you'd get in the car, there would be no driver.
Oh my
it would
God.
almost be like an Uber. He's now saying he's hoping that this is going to take place by the end of 2026. He even admitted and acknowledged, in truth, that his projections have been off and that he's oftentimes optimistic. So I think there was just a little bit of concern among shareholders that this is not actually coming as soon as maybe people had planned. It only has 2 doors and 2 seats. Interestingly enough, he also announced a plan for something that has 20 seats. It's almost like a minivan. There it is. You can see it right there for under $30,000.
For under $30,000.
All of this seems into the future.
Pie in the sky.
But a little bit for now.
CNBC's Andrew Ross Sorkin.
It'll happen one day. It'll just might not happen on our timeline.
I think I'm too much of a control freak to let a car drive for me. What thoughts?
There's no steering wheel and no pedal. You
no,
literally
no.
Also, no ability to see oncoming pedestrians, according to recent tests, especially if they're people of color.
Andrew, okay, have a good weekend. Okay, so first of all, we thank everybody for participating. Absolutely no bad things to say about people who participate in these conversations. We thank you so much. But does anybody at this table need to take a deep breath? Because I do. I just do.
We've been listening to undecideds for weeks on 2A, and it's really hard to believe that there are still people who might vote third party or try to write in. It's just such a lack of understanding about the stakes and about why that's just throwing your vote away.
Oh, my God.
I know. No, look, I mean, this is part of why disinformation works, because this is what the right has been hitting her with relentlessly.